Hey guys, Tyro here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Langreskaya. Playing for you in the north is Cataclaw.
You need something built?
Playing for the Soviet Union. In his loadout is Tank Hunter, Lend-Lease and Shock Rifle. And he's straight away putting up his tier 1, so we may see a scout car. Playing in the south is Incredible FaHu. Quite often see him streaming. He's a German player. Most of his games are in 2v2s, but he's also pretty good at ones, being top 100 I believe. He's playing for the OKW, and his loadout is Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Elite Armor and Special Operations. Don't often see Spec Ops in 1v1s, but we have to see how that gets along.
Good work, comrades. This now belongs to us.
Well, we are on Langreskaya. Don't cast many matches on Langreskaya because usually they go on for so long. I mean, I don't mind casting long games, but pretty much every game on Langreskaya is over an hour. So hard to get a triple cap running. Rumor is that the
Well done, comrades. The engineers
victory point, these ones that are really close to the base, are going to be relocated to make a triple cap a bit easier to attain and maybe speed up the matches on this map. Here we go, first engagement, conscripts first. Fox at close range. Conscripts should have the edge at this close range, but Fox did drop that first conscript model quite quickly. Here comes Stern Pioneers to support, and they arrive before the second squad of conscripts, so I think this engagement is going to go to FaHu. He's just trying to get that squad to retreat so they can't continue capping, but looks like the Stern Pioneers are probably going to chase them off now as well. We managed to inflict a bit of bleed on those Stern Pioneers though. Not quite as dire of a situation since they've reduced the reinforced costs. Kugelwagen Wagon now locking down the right hand fuel, making it very hard for Cataclaw, who has actually selected tank hunters pretty early. Probably not the best idea after the nerf to the PTRS, but we'll have to see how he gets on here. Still will give him enough tools to deal with OKW light vehicles such as the Flak Half-Track and the Puma. Kubel causing all sorts of troubles for Cataclaw, but here comes the M3. He doesn't even have any infantry in that, he's just going to chase that down with 50 cal on the front. There it goes. And that is the risk you take playing with the Kubel, especially against Soviets. They're quite likely to try and get a scout guys. You see tier 1 quite often from Soviets versus OKW players. Whereas at least if you're playing against USF you'd have to wait for a bit longer before the M20 arrives. Now the scout car with the flamer, Combat Engineer squad just chasing off all of FaHu's squads. He is building a Rekenwerfer to try and counter that. He's put down his battle group headquarters, so he's got plenty of healing going on in his base at the moment.
Anti-tank rockets on the field.
Rekenwerfer is now on the field. We see a cheeky mine being placed down there by Cataclaw. Stern Pioneers leading the way in this charge. M3 wants to join in on the fun, but there is that Rekenwerfer, which is actually a bit out of position at the moment. Rekenwerfer trying to get shot off. Oh, but he misses. Stern Pioneers take quite a lot of damage, so his conscripts have to retreat. They don't have far to go though. This squad also has a Shrek now, so quite a bit of anti-tank from FaHu. Should be able to keep that M3 on its toes at the very least. Cataclaw did jump out of his M3 there and try to flush those Volks out of that garrison, but was unsuccessful. They took quite a lot of losses and had to retreat that squad. Still, things are looking pretty good for Cataclaw in the early game. He's managed to get most of the map under his control, doing a pretty good job harassing FaHu's fuel. He's gone for a sniper now. Sniper's pretty good on Langreskaya. It's a pretty wide open map. Quite hard to ambush them. Also worth noting, it's usually thought that the north spawn is a tougher spawn, as this cutoff here is a lot easier to access than the cutoff down here. So Cataclaw does have the advantage in terms of spawn. Sniper on the prowl, trying to track down all of FaHu's troops. FaHu's really struggling for map control at the moment. And that can happen when you go battle group headquarters. You don't really have anything at this period of the game that can really give you the edge. You could go for an infantry support gun, but Cataclaw doesn't really have any team weapons, so it doesn't really have anything to fire upon reliably. It's not going to hit moving squads very well, so battle group not working out too well for FaHu so far. But if he can stall for long enough for his next tech structure and a bit more fuel, maybe we can see him reverse this poor start to the game. M3 just continues to do work on FaHu's troops. He's got nothing going right for him so far. See the first PTRS upgraded there on those conscripts. And now it looks like Cataclaw is going to manage to get a triple cap running, so it is tough, but it is achievable, especially if you are dominating your opponent so greatly, like we see here.
Ready to execute.
Indeed, FaHu is going to put down his mechanized regiment now.
Regimental HQ for mechanized units will be here.
Putting it on this side. Was that slightly safer? Don't think he saw that PTRS going, but try and spread your headquarter structures out just in case the Soviet opponent goes for a howitzer. You don't want them to be clustered up together, right for the picking. Concentrated force from FaHu making a push out from the right hand side of his base. Getting a few good hits off on the sniper there. Also got the minesweepers out, doesn't want to run into any mines. Put them away briefly. Oh, the mines are still visible though. That's interesting. Oh no, okay, now they've gone away. FaHu continuing the push, really wants to get that wipe, but if he keeps chasing he's just going to lose to all these flanking squads. In fact, he's just going to retreat there. He may actually run over this mine. No, not quite. Flamethrower doing some good work. Nice use of merge there from Cataclaw, keeping those flamers on the field for as long as possible. They're his main source of DPS at the moment. Just decides to retreat. All these squads are getting quite low. Hopefully he's got medics upgraded. He does indeed. Always good to have medics, especially if you have a sniper. So expensive to reinforce. You want to have them at high health. at all times.
Enemy is engaging us.
Whoever misses that shot on the N3, not much is going right here for FaHu. Missed a few shots now on that N3. PTRS is doing quite a bit of damage to that Rekenwerfer as well.
We are now equipped with a flamethrower. We are taking over this ground for the people.
Sniper back on the field, up to 6 kills.
Enemy fire.
T-70 light. Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Just sniping away at these two squads. M3 still causing lots of issues for FaHu. There, he runs over that mine that he actually located. And I think he's going to have to retreat once more. He's just about pinned into his base now. Nice sweeping though. Manages to avoid running over that mine at the very least. Here's a T-70. And here's the Puma. Good choice. No AT grenades yet from Cataclaw, but he does have quite a few squads with PTRS. He actually did lose one of his conscript squads, I think.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Did he? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just incorrectly remembering how many squads conscripts Cataclaw had. So now we've got guards and a T-70 on the prowl for the Puma. Puma now backing into this fight. Whoopsie daisy, what was that maneuver? Opens up on the M3. Probably going to try to finish it off here. Oh, abandoned. Here comes a Shrek squad, they should be able to finish the job. Puma's just sitting out at the back here, just in case that T-70 decides to show its face once more. Assault grenades selected by FaHu, I mean deployed there by FaHu, which means he has selected Spec Ops. Not assault grenades, infiltration grenades. Pretty much the same thing though, except infiltration grenades are significantly cheaper. So I'm not sure why FaHu selected Spec Ops. Bit of an unusual doctrine. Artillery flares can come in handy in multiplayer, and of course radio silence can be good if you know your opponent uses a lot of tactical map. That can really confuse them. But yeah, Panther Command Tank is also very strong in multiplayer modes. But generally, I mean, it just doesn't have much to offer in 1v1s, I feel. Probably be better off using Scavenge.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
To gain the infiltration grenades. STGs are alright, maybe a bit overpriced. And yeah, as I said, Command Panther. It's alright, but a bit expensive and quite hard to use in the ones.
Su-76 assault gun standing by. Mission accomplished.
But that could be FaHu's plan, to try and bank up enough fuel for the Command Panther and make his way. From there, would save him ticking up to tier 4 to try and get the Panther. A lot of rockets being fired at that T-70, and here is a Su-76 joining in on the front. Opens up with one barrage shell. Rekenwerfer and Puma doing quite a lot of damage to it though. And both of those are going to require repairs before they return to the front lines. Sniper continuing to work its magic, up to 15 kills now. Oh, have to be careful, otherwise this squad may go down shortly. Yep, and there it goes. Retreats on one man remaining.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
It's Stern Pioneers inflict quite a lot of damage, but no bleed onto those conscripts there. And FaHu's actually been doing a pretty good job of just running out and capping the fuel on this side of the map, and not having his own fuel, which is kind of surprising. Well, it usually depends on your control of this garrison here. This is quite a strong garrison to try prevent pushes along this side of the map. And Cataclaw hasn't really held on to that very well. Of course, he doesn't really have tier 2, so he can't put a team weapon in there like a Maxim, so it could be part of the explanation. Has tech to tier 4, of course. Going tank hunter means he doesn't really have any call-ins. He actually doesn't. Also doesn't really have any elite infantry, so he's going with penals. Penals with flamethrowers can do alright against late game OKW infantry. Infiltration grenades knock down that garrison. In fact, snipers feeling quite bold though. Maybe getting flanked here by this squad. Conscripts should win this one at close range. Sniper takes a Shrek, it looked like there. He's going to get away though. Both of Cataclaw's vehicles have been repaired and returned to the front lines. Puma has also received repairs. Oh, that grenade almost got those two engineer squads. Do see that the Rakedenwerfer has been cleared, and that's FaHu's only Rakedenwerfer. He kind of needs that. SU-76 opens up on the Puma. Gets it again. Puma's in trouble. Could pop smoke here. Nope. Gets away without too many issues. T-70 ended up destroying those sandbags there and forcing those Fox Grenadiers to retreat. They didn't have a Shrek, so not much they could do. Infiltration grenades inflict a bit of friendly fire there, I think. Here comes the Shrek squad. T-70, you can kind of kite Shrek squads. It's a very small target, so the Shreks have a hard time actually hitting it at long range. Puma's pretty much up to full health already. That's the powers of the mechanized regiment. Puma's gonna chase it down here. Oh, he misses that shot. Continues to chase. He misses that shot as well. Now Puma's in a bit of trouble from the SU-76. Oops. No, SU-76 misses that shot. Continues to chase. Oh, misses that shot as well. So a lucky break on both sides. Two missed shots on each side, and all the vehicles remain on the field. Cataclaw continues with the larger portion of the map, though. Very far ahead in terms of victory points as well. FaHu down to only 186 already. Things are not looking too good for FaHu at the moment. Floating a bit of manpower at the moment. Doesn't really have much to do with it though.
We need replacements.
Well done, comrades.
Fuck, we've lost an hour.
I suppose you could make another Rakedenwerfer. Just try cheeky one hit the SU-76 with all three of them at once, making use of their camouflage abilities. He's actually building another Stern Pioneer squad, so I guess that's how he's going to go for his elite infantry. SU-76 barraging over the hedge does quite a lot of damage to that Rakedenwerfer. Shrek squad advances. Stern Pioneers with penals on over here. Oh, was that a D squad? No. Oh, but down goes the T-70. Nice shot there from those folks. And nice peek there from the Puma. Gets 2 shots off, and the SU-76 couldn't come into that engagement. It's on too low health. That's what happens when you try and use it on low health, and sometimes it can cost your other units. Close range Katyusha barrage though. Ooh.
Your predecessor died a hero. Katyusha, ready.
That could have gone a lot worse for FaHu, honestly. Only 4 kills, didn't wipe anything.
Man down. Yes.
Sniper still on the field, up to 21 kills.
Taking fire. I have the men ready.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Taking fire from another car.
Conscripts in a bit of trouble here. Probably can get chased down by this Puma. So these folks actually.
Enemy infantry.
No, both those shots off target. It's gonna live to fight another day. FaHu continuously comes out across here, trying to always keep control of this cutoff here, and trying to cap that fuel, keep a bit of pressure on Cataclaw. Still, he's only down to 120 victory points. Really needs to start capping that center VP. Doesn't have much time remaining to make something happen, otherwise. Penal's just torching everything, causing a mass retreat there from FaHu. Just lots of flamethrowers in general from the Soviet player.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
Okay, so it's T-34-76
Enemy forces are
from
attempting to
Cataclaw
capture the
next.
territory.
And that was indeed FaHu's plan. Save up for the Command Panther, and he's in a pretty good spot. Whoa, what just happened there? How did the Katyusha get all the way up to the front line in the line of fire of that Puma? And now the tables have completely turned. Katyusha down. Command Panther's gonna make short work out of a T-34 and a SU-76, especially with a bit of Puma support and all these Shreks. Well, he's actually only got 1 Shrek left, but
Target secure.
these Shreks. Luckily, Cataclaw does have a stolen Raketenwerfer, so
Use for these scum.
we will be able to use that against FaHu, because he doesn't have access to the ZIS, of course, having not built Tier 2. Looks like another batch of infiltration grenades being rattled off here.
The enemy is taking what we have
Easily
secured.
dodged by Cataclaw, though he's trying to keep the pressure on FaHu's victory points. Now Puma's in trouble. Yep. Right in front of the SU-76 and Raketenwerfer. Takes 2 volleys and down it goes.
Panther, ready to contact. Small arms fire.
Command Panther looked like it's going for a flank. Raketenwerfer repositions.
Down to 100.
Sniper's in trouble. Oh, down goes the sniper. So it's the Katyusha and the sniper now down for Cataclaw. He's in a bit of trouble here. And his SU-76 is on very low health. That Command Panther could just come in here and snipe that without too many issues.
Captured.
Command Panther looks like it's going for a flank here. This is ballsy. There could be mines here. This is quite a popular spot for a mine. You see that Cataclaw is going for SU-85. They work excellently on this map. nice wide open spaces. Great for them. And that should be his most reliable method of dealing with this Command Panther. Maybe even getting a pair of Su-85s would be a good idea. Cataclaw's deciding to engage, but two of his tanks aren't even up to full health yet. This could be issues. Kenworth and Command Panther just almost knocking out that T-34 there. Su-85 is now on focus sight, but takes a Kenworth shot there and a Puma shot. It's in a bit of trouble now. All of Cataclaw's armor is quite low. Su-85 misses there. Su-85 is very inaccurate whilst moving. Command Panther decides to disengage. No! Command Panther goes down! Stayed in there for too long, and all of those shots were penetrating, which is pretty rare against a Command Panther, or against any Panther with such high frontal armor. So a bit of bad luck there for FaHu. Did manage to salvage it slightly by knocking out the Su-76, but definitely a good win for Cataclaw. He needed that after losing a sniper in Katyusha. He needed a win. And now FaHu maybe has to consider saving once more for the Command Panther, but that's going to be a long time away. Satchel charge! Don't often work, and didn't work. Wow! Penals went down at maximum range there. I think that's probably from these Vet 5 Stern Pioneers. These things are lethal.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
Demo charge went off there. What? Don't know, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what died there. I mean, honestly, it looks like a penal troop corpse there, but I don't know, did he accidentally detonate it on his own troops? T-34 is going deep, forcing a few retreats here, but down goes one of them. They're quite cheap now in terms of fuel. FaHu has managed to cap the center VP, and Cataclaw knows that that's his ticket to victory. He needs to keep the pressure on the victory point clock. Starting to run out of steam. Doesn't have many late game options, having gone for tank out tactics. Should actually probably consider building another combat engineer squad and getting the salvage kit on it. Salvage kit is very potent, gives you both manpower and fuel. And he could salvage that wreck there, and maybe if he's ballsy, get down to these two wrecks down here, allowing him to spam even more armour. Part of the brilliance of this doctrine. And this is the issue when you go for T-34s. They're in that kind of odd spot where they just can't deal with opportunities with Shreks. Their gun isn't potent enough, and their coaxial machine gun is also a bit lackluster. Best chance is going in for crushes, but of course carries quite a lot of risks. May go too deep, get caught out by a Kenworth or more troops. FaHu indeed decided he could not wait for another command part. They decided to field a Puma to bridge the gap. Had pretty good luck with this first one. He's now going to salvage these wrecks, try to speed up his fuel income once more. Oh, did you just get another wipe there? This is... everything's going wrong for Cataclaw here. He's just getting some really unlucky wipes at pretty much max range. Okay, it looks like he's kind of running out of steam here. He's going to bring in the anti-tank bombing run. Doesn't hit anything. Nicely dodged there by FaHu. Probably should be capping that fuel there. Su-85's trying to fire at the Puma, I think, at long range, but he's not having much luck. Keeps hitting the ground. Oh man, that's 3 shots in a row hitting the dirt. Finally one connects. Kenworth will also try and set up there to finish the job, but was unsuccessful. FaHu does have fuel transfer activated, so he's just trying to get in as much fuel as he possibly can. Still got the squad up here that, I mean, they're just kind of sitting in cover, but not really. Could be harassing that fuel. Cataclaw has managed to decap this victory point here in the south. And that's going to really put the heat on FaHu. He needs to get the center one under his control right away, otherwise he's going to lose on victory points, down to only 42 VPs. Puma coming in from the flanks though. You see M5 and a quad mount coming out here. Whoa, bit of pathing issues. Down goes the Su-85, got caught on the back of the M5. M5's now being chased down by the Puma. T-34 76 being chased away. It's a mass retreat from Cataclaw. Looks like the Puma's going to go deep. Conscripts Urad in to threaten, but he doesn't even have the anti-tank grenade package upgraded, so he can't do anything against that Puma really, apart from plink away at it with his PTRSs. FaHu now securing Cataclaw's cutoff here. First time he's been so deep into Cataclaw's territory. And things are looking good for FaHu now, having knocked out that Su-85 with all those pathing issues there. Cataclaw once more is going for the Katyusha. I'm not sure if this is the right choice. I suppose he needs something to try and deal with all of FaHu's infantry, but I'm not sure about this one. Puma's chasing down the M5. Nice use of ram there by the T-34. But oh, the Puma somehow managed to kill that quad mount at max range. Stolen Kenworth are desperately trying to knock out the Puma. Puma firing through the smoke. T-34's main gun has been destroyed, so that's no use to anybody. Down goes T-34. Puma's scaling away. I think something got in there and died. Cataclaw's, he's down to almost nothing now. He's just lost everything in these last 2 engagements to this Puma. This Puma is definitely MVP. What? I believe he's trying to knock out the Puma with the Katyusha rockets, but FaHu left it over here, so it was a quite far off target. And now Cataclaw down to only 30 army size to FaHu's 50. FaHu pretty close to being able to call in another Command Panther. I think he's actually going to win this one. I mean, just to summarise in this game, I think tank counter-tactics is probably not a very good idea anymore now that PTRS is nerfed. Especially on a super, like a map like Langreskaya, where you're almost certain to go into the late game. I'll try to get away from that machine gun noise. It's kind of more of an early game doctrine. Also, he didn't make any use of the salvage kits. Could have help kept up his tank spam if he just salvaged a few of these wrecks. Did not do so though. As for FaHu, he did a pretty good job holding on. Can be tough going for the battle group headquarters first. Wouldn't really recommend that. As you could see, pretty much lost him the entire map control. And but he managed to stick it out. Nice Puma micro, and that was the game. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.